One of the challenges that S&S faces on a daily basis with making all these great horsepower motors is the fact that they have to adhere to emission standards all over the world, and that's quite a chore. Now, a lot of the emission standards, that are out there right now are pretty strict, but you can bet they're going to get stricter. And S&S is always looking forward, no matter what they do. So they're ahead of the game by making sure all their new motors pass all the standards in the world. Right here, Jan Smith is pretty much in charge of the S&S emission standards facility here. Jan, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, this is our S&S emission certification lab. What this lab allows us to do is to bring in motorcycles, ATVs, and utility vehicles and do the testing on them to meet the EPA requirements, the state of California requirements, or emissions testing for vehicles going overseas, the European Union, the TUV in Germany, Japan, Taiwan. We can bring those vehicles in, and in this lab with our certifications, our testing that we've done, we can bring a vehicle in this lab, test it, and submit that data directly to the EPA and to the ARB in the state of California to certify a vehicle. Allows us to bring in our own vehicles, our engines, our parts, do the testing right here, take the data, go to the EPA or the state of California, get our own certifications, and we supply that service to outside consulting service for other customers. So we provide testing and consulting.
Well, that's one really good point that you make here, Jan, because when I was looking out there, I see a lot of big S&S motors, but one thing I did notice, you got a couple scooters out there that I'm not quite sure who makes them, but they're here. What's that?
Well, like I said, we provide consulting and testing services to outside companies. Well, we'll bring in a scooter or an ATV or a utility vehicle from our company. They'll send us the vehicles. We can do all the testing here in-house and also provide them the services, do the consulting, do their paperwork for both EPA and California so they can get their own vehicle certification. So it allows the people importing vehicles that are built overseas, the scooters you see, like the scooter you saw here in the lab. We brought that vehicle in, companies paying us to do all the testing and consulting for it, and when they're done, they get their EPA and California certificates and can import and sell that vehicle legally.
Excellent. Well, one thing for sure here at S&S, made in the USA and made proudly not to pass too much gas.